Something I don't tell a lot of people is that I've never really had the best relationship with my family. It's always been tense. I've never been able to tell them things that I'd wanted to, and they never, I guess, never showed me the physical love that I wanted. Being one of 5 children in a household, I guess they have to devote their time to the children who need it most. But I don't think that they ever realized that maybe their eldest child needed it most. When I was 12, my nan died, and we were really close, and that was kind of when everything went downhill, I guess. That was the year I didn't know what it was then. I never could put a name to it, but I was perpetually sad and angry, and at the same time I was empty, and I thought that I was the only one who felt like that. And I think that was the year my mum started to draw away from me. Maybe it was me, I don't know. But before that, my mum would come into my room if I was crying, and she'd sit down and hug me, and she'd ask me what was wrong. And she stopped doing that. And for years, all I could wonder was why. I still haven't really gotten an explanation for that, but I think it's the time devotion thing. She had other kids to worry about. So I sort of made myself try and be braver than I was. And when my stepfather came into my life, it wasn't in the best circumstances. We didn't get along well, let's just say that. And we didn't have the best relationship, unfortunately. I was constantly bitter and angry and hating the world because I hated myself. And he couldn't understand why. He never actually asked me why. And every time I tried to bring something up, he would shut me down instantly, basically. immediately. And I had this resentment in my heart for him because I couldn't understand why my mum was married to someone as douchey as he was. And I had a lot of really dark feelings inside me that I couldn't get out. I couldn't tell anyone. So they festered and they grew rotten and turned into a black void. And so I wrote a poem called Royal Blood, and it's fierce and angry, and I love it so much. I love reading it and feeling passionate, because poetry was and still is one of the only things that I get so passionate about. But even when I do read it, I can't bring up the anger anymore. I can't bring up that rage, because we've grown in the past few years. I've left home twice. I've moved completely different states. I'm hours away from my family, and that way we get along so much better. But I still have this poem, and I'd still like to read it. And hopefully you guys can feel the anger that I felt when I wrote it. Like, also, a side note, I'm not a person who swears, ever. No matter how angry I get, it's physically hard for me to actually swear. So this poem will be a little hard for me to read, because there's one swear word. Oh no, I'm so bad. But I'll read it anyway. just to read it as it is, instead of leaving anything out. You say I'm the king of this motherfucking castle, like you believe I would care. Your crown is weaved of lies and piercing words made to stun your enemies, me, so they don't fight back. You are a tyrannical king, a false king, leading with war and drowning your citizens in their own blood, making a glorious chair from the bones you take from them. You think you're a king, an almighty god over a conquered land, but the stars didn't choose you and the sky won't take you. You started this fire, this raging and ultimate battle, and you will regret it when you see the destruction I will leave in my wake on my path to drag you from your throne.